That time once again, our bi-weekly update with Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto from Cinema Vet. Good morning.
Good morning.
And we were talking off the air. You had a kitten that you were in the care of at your office for a little bit, and you had pictures of having a little bath and everything like that.
Yes.
But you said that he's off in foster care now, correct?
Yeah, he went to foster care yesterday. He's still available for adoption if anybody's interested. Very cute little guy.
And it looked like maybe it's part of a Siamese or something like that, or what did you think it was?
He's definitely going to be a flame point, so white with orange tips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering about those, if that was little dirty paws or if he was actually, that was the colors of his feet. So.
The dark was like some road tar, but then his little ears and tail are going to be orange.
So would they contact your office for information on that? Or?
Yes.
Okay. And so if you are looking for an orange flame point, very adorable cat that appears to like to have baths as well, and that's always a good thing. Because no, you don't just let cats should not just bathe themselves, right? Even though they technically do that, but they need baths just like other animals, right?
A lot of times they need baths, depending on the situation, yeah.
But sometimes it's like, especially I've had a few cats, like, I'm just going to let you handle it because I don't like to have all these multiple lacerations on me.
Right.
But more importantly, so yes, contact the office if you're interested in finding out more about this adorable little kitten, 253-9300. But more importantly, something has come up that we should be concerned about, especially with our dogs, right?
Right. I wanted to address canine influenza, or the dog flu, is something that's been around for a while, but as most people have heard, there was a new outbreak of a new strain in Chicago back in April. And it was contained just to that area for a while, but now it has spread. It's been confirmed in like 13 states, and California is one of those states. So I thought we could address that a little bit.
Well, what are the symptoms of canine influenza? Is it like human influenza, or is there something different? Is it more dangerous? Or
it's an upper respiratory, so they would have coughing, sneezing, runny nose. In later stages, it can progress into pneumonia, so it can get pretty severe. There can be many variances of how it presents, but it's always more like a head cold is what we would kind of think of it as.
Is it something that they can get over without treatment like we can, or is it always best to go in and get treated and immunized?
Because it's a virus, if it's really, really mild, they can certainly get over it on their own. A lot of times dogs need supportive care, so we don't treat the virus itself, but we can treat any kind of secondary bacterial infections that stem from it. And certainly make them more comfortable, help with the coughing and the symptoms of it. There is a vaccine that is for the older strain. So that's the tough part, is we can vaccinate for canine flu, but it's for the N8 strain of the disease and not the N2, which is the new one. And that's, the biggest concern. They might be developing a vaccine, we just don't have it yet.
So mainly, especially if you have older dogs, that's always just like older people, you got to watch out, because sometimes those types of what we might almost consider a benign, maybe short-term illness can turn into something a little more serious. So what kind of symptoms, you talk about coughing and sneezing, is there anything else we should look out for?
Any kind of just generalized illness, if they're lethargic, off their food, maybe having some shortness of breath, exercise intolerance, anything like that, anything that causes you to have a little bit of concern that something's not right, then they should always be checked out.
I've always noticed, especially with my dogs, it's like if they're not eating right away. Well, I've one that's maybe sometimes a little picky, but there's another one's like when he's not eating right away, I know there's something wrong.
Something's
so that's usually
wrong.
the first sign. So that's important to understand. So canine influenza, if you start seeing those, the opportunity to bring them in just in case, to make sure that there is no, because they again, we talk about especially dogs with high tolerances of pain and not wanting to let you know necessarily when things are going wrong.
Right.
You may not know that they may have something a little more serious. So if they start exhibiting those symptoms, always good to bring them in.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. I also still have to extol the virtues. We were talking the last time about the diffuser I got.
Yeah.
Because Otis, my one beagle, gets a little sketchy at night for some reason. It's like some invisible boogeyman is out there freaking him out. And he'd look up and get really, really shaky. Like, so he's really, really stressed out and make the high-pitched, wonderful beagle barks that kind of just like nails on a chalkboard. And he wouldn't stop unless either we put the coat on him, the thunder shirt or whatever. But this so far has been really good. He's had a couple little barking things, but not this real freak out stress. So
that's great.
So far, I will say this for anybody, it's the pheromone diffuser, and you can get them at your typical pet supply places, and you plug it in. It's like one of those air fresheners. Only fortunately, it doesn't smell like pet pheromones. Not
Right,
at least
you
to us
can't smell
anyway.
it.
Thank goodness. But that's I mean, it really, really, really does the trick for at least maintaining that sort of really anxious behavior that he had. So
That's
I'm still
great.
excited. I'll keep you updated unless things changes. He has a couple of episodes, but not like he used to. So, and all the dogs are kind of like mellow on it. So
Yeah.
we really like it. So it's not too cheap, but I'm here to tell you that what it's worth. It's very much worth the price not to have that happen, because we also don't
Good.
want neighbors and everybody getting all upset
yeah.
with it either. So awesome. Cinema Veterinary Center, Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto. They are located, of course, on Cinema Drive in beautiful downtown, awesome town, just off of Valencia Boulevard, 253-9300, cinemavet.com. And once you become a patient, you get access to their online stuff as well, so you can make reservations or appointments, I should say, and also update prescriptions and things like that. Totally
Right.
cool. Thanks so much for stopping by. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
740